Sonny Gray going to the Boston Red Sox.
The Red Sox wanted that frontline guy, and they got him. So they're setting their rotation up to really go win.
I just think it could make sense given our interest in building the best team we possibly can in 2026.
Just a couple of years ago, the Boston Red Sox were the punchline of the American League East. They were stuck in that weird ground where they weren't bad enough to fully commit to a rebuild, but they definitely weren't good enough to compete. They had missed the playoffs for 3 straight seasons, hadn't won their division in 6 years. But then 2025 happened and everything changed. The Red Sox finished 89-73, grabbed a wild card spot, and made their first postseason appearance since 2021. Yeah, they lost to the Yankees in the wild card series, but here's the thing. This wasn't supposed to be their year yet. This was supposed to be a development season, a let's see what we have type of a season. Instead, they showed up and showed out, giving everyone a glimpse of what's really brewing in Boston. And now they're pushing all their chips to the center of the table. But before we get into that, I want to thank you guys again for all your support on our road to 50,000 subscribers. We are doing a giveaway for anyone who is subscribed with their notifications turned on, where we're giving out a jersey every single upload. With that being said, this upload's winner is at FBI_Iran 2845. Appreciate the support, brother. Reach out to me for that jersey. Now that that's out of the way, let's get right into it. Just this week, the Boston Red Sox pulled off a massive trade with the St. Louis Cardinals to land 3-time All-Star pitcher Sonny Gray. And I don't expect this to be the only pitching move they make. The Red Sox aren't just dipping their toes in the water anymore. They're going all in, and the American League should be terrified. Let me tell you why this Red Sox team is about to become a big problem. Before we get to the new additions, we need to talk about why the Red Sox are even in this position. And it all starts with one name, Roman Anthony. This kid is special, like Baseball Savant page alone. On August 6th, they signed Anthony to an 8-year, $130 million extension with escalators that could push the deal to $230 million. For a kid with 71 games of MLB experience, that's not just confidence, that's a statement. The Red Sox were telling the baseball world, this is our guy and we're building around it. Then disaster struck. On September 3rd, Anthony was placed on the 10-day injured list with left oblique strain, sidelining him for the remainder of the regular season. And here's where it gets tough. You see, because the Red Sox made the playoffs, but their best player was stuck watching from Fort Myers, rehabbing an injury that some doctors call the worst baseball injury ever. But here's the good news. Anthony is now completely asymptomatic, according to Red Sox Chief Baseball Officer Craig Breslow. He's healthy, he's ready, and he's pissed about how last season ended. That makes for a dangerous combination. Now, Roman Anthony might be the crown jewel, but he's not alone. Not even close. Let's talk about Connelly Early. Early was a 5th-round pick out of Virginia who transferred from Army and made his MLB debut on September 9th. His first start, 11 strikeouts in 5 innings. Just casual dominance against the Oakland A's. Through his first 2 starts, Early logged 10.1 innings with 18 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and just 1 walk, making him the first pitcher since 1893 to record at least 10 innings pitched with 18 strikeouts, 1 or fewer walks, and 1 or fewer runs allowed over his first 2 career appearances. That's some pretty big stuff. Then, with their season on the line, they handed the ball to Connelly Early for Game 3 of the Wild Card Series against the Yankees. A rookie with 4 career starts was going to pitch in a winner-take-all playoff game in Yankee Stadium against a lineup that led the majors in runs scored and home runs. Now, the Red Sox did lose that game, but it wasn't because of Early. The kid showed up, and now he's part of a young pitching core that has the Red Sox believing they can build something special. Because while everyone's been focused on the position players of Roman Anthony, Alex Bregman, Marcelo Myers, and more, the Red Sox quietly have one of the best young starting rotations in baseball. Let's be real, when the Red Sox traded for Garrett Crochet from the White Sox last December, people were skeptical. Sure, the talent was there, but Crochet was coming off a season where the White Sox limited his innings as he transitioned from reliever to starter. So could he handle a full workload? Would he stay healthy? Was he actually an ace level talent? Well, yeah, it turns out he's an ace. In his first season with Boston, Crochet went 18-5 with a 2.59 ERA, leading the AL with 205 innings pitched and a major league best 255 strikeouts. Crochet finished second in the AL Cy Young Award voting, losing only to Detroit's Tarek Skubal, who won it for the second straight year. So the Red Sox knew they had something special, which is why they signed Crochet to a 6-year, $170 million extension before the season even started. He's locked up through 2032. He's 26 years old. He's a left-handed power pitcher with elite stuff and 100-mile-an-hour velocity. and he's just scratching the surface. And the only other Red Sox pitchers to post the combination of 18 plus wins, a sub 2.6 ERA, 205 innings pitched, and 255 plus strikeouts were Pedro Martinez in 1999 and 2000, and Smokey Joe Wood in 1912. That is the caliber of pitcher the Red Sox have fronting their rotation. So you've got Garrett Crochet as your ace. You've got young arms like Connelly Early, Peyton Tolley showing promise. Then don't forget about Brayan Bello and first round pick Kyson Witherspoon, who's going to rocket through the minors. That's a competitive rotation. But if you're the Red Sox, you're looking at 2026 and thinking, we need one more proven veteran, one more guy who can lead innings and be a solid third or fourth arm in the rotation. Well, enter Sonny Gray. The Red Sox pulled off a trade with the Cardinals this week, acquiring the 36-year-old right-hander in exchange for left-handed pitcher Brandon Clark and right-handed pitcher Richard Fitts. And the Cardinals are sending $20 million to Boston as part of the deal, essentially cutting Gray's salary in half for the Red Sox. Now, let's be honest. Gray's coming off a down year by his standards. He went 14-8 with a 4.28 ERA in 32 starts for the Cardinals, which is solid but not spectacular. But here's what matters. Gray led the National League with a 5.29 strikeout to walk ratio. He still has elite command, and he's just 2 years removed from finishing second in the AL Cy Young Award voting with the Twins in 2023, when he posted a 2.79 ERA in 32 starts. So the Red Sox are betting on a couple of things here. First, that Gray's numbers were suppressed playing for a rebuilding Cardinals team that lost 84 games. Second, that Gray can continue to produce weak ground balls at an elite level like he's done in the past. And third, that maybe, just maybe, they can find a way to tick up the soon-to-be 37-year-old velocity by just a smidge. Think about what the Red Sox rotation looks like now. You have Garrett Crochet, Sonny Gray, Brayan Bello, and then a mix of young arms like Connelly Early, Peyton Tolley, or maybe a free agent. By pairing Gray with ace Garrett Crochet, the Red Sox now have 2 of the 5 pitchers to record at least 200 strikeouts in each of the last 2 seasons. And here's where it gets really interesting, because less than 24 hours after trading for Sonny Gray, reports started coming out that the Red Sox are showing interest in free agent catcher JT Realmuto. Now, on the surface, I know this doesn't make a ton of sense. The Red Sox got a breakout season from Carlos Narvaez, who hit 241, 306, 419 with 15 homers in 118 games and finished 6th in AL Rookie of the Year voting. Not to mention, he is statistically the second best defensive catcher in terms of DRS. They have a young catcher under team control until 2030 who just showed he can hit major league pitching, so why would they go after a 34-year-old catcher coming off one of his worst offensive seasons? Well, Realmuto hit 257, 315, 384 with 12 home runs in 134 games with Philadelphia in 2025. His defensive metrics were all over the place. Still elite at throwing out base stealers, but his framing and his blocking were in the bottom 15th percentile of all catchers. But here's the thing. The Red Sox aren't looking at Realmuto as a full-time starter. They're looking at a potential platoon situation here, because Realmuto hit 277, 337, and 406 against right-handed pitching in 2025, while Narvaez put up 243, 331, and 400 line against lefties, which would make a perfect split. Plus, Narvaez showed significant wear and tear towards the latter half of the season. Imagine how well he could perform over the course of 162 games if he had more time off. That's the intangible stuff. But there's also an off-the-field reason for this move too. Realmuto is a 3-time All-Star, a 2-time Gold Glover, and a leader who's been to the postseason multiple times with Philadelphia. For a Red Sox team loaded with young position players, Anthony, Campbell, Meyer, Narvaez, Rafaela, Willier, having a veteran presence like Realmuto could be massive. Now, I am going to pump the brakes here real quick, because the Athletics' Ken Rosenthal and Jen McCaffrey reported that the best guess with Realmuto is that he will re-sign with the Philadelphia Phillies. He's got a house in Clearwater, Florida, near the Phillies spring training facility. He's been with Philly since 2019. The Phillies don't even have an internal replacement, so all signs do point to him staying put. But the fact that the Red Sox are even in the conversation tells you everything about their mindset right now. They're not just trying to improve, they're trying to win now. So let me bring this all together. You've got Roman Anthony locked up through 2033. You've got Garrett Crochet locked up through 2032. You've got Christian Campbell locked up through 2032. These are 21, 26, and 23-year-old stars, respectively. This is your core. This is your window. And here's the beautiful part. The Red Sox made the playoffs last year without Roman Anthony for the postseason. They made it with Connelly Early making emergency playoff starts. They made it despite Christian Campbell struggling. They made it with Marcelo Meyer hurt. They made it with a rotation that was good but not great. They made it after trading Rafael Devers. Now imagine next year's team. Roman Anthony is healthy and has a full offseason to get stronger. Garrett Crochet is coming off a Cy Young caliber season and has established himself as one of the best lefties in baseball. Sonny Gray is joining the rotation to give them veteran stability. Marcelo Meyer and Christian Campbell have a year of MLB experience under their belts. The young pitchers like Connelly Early and Peyton Toll have had time to develop. Oh, and there's one more factor we haven't even discussed yet. Alex Bregman and Pete Alonso. The way it's being framed right now is that the Red Sox must choose between re-signing Alex Bregman or going out and getting Pete Alonso. But my question is, why? Alex Bregman has made it clear that he likes Boston and he wouldn't mind coming back. Maybe him opting out of the $40 million contract for next season is actually better for the team. Let's say they re-sign him. There is no chance that contract is worth more than $25 million a year. With that saved money, they can go out and use that to also sign Pete Alonso. You're telling me a top of the order consisting of Roman Anthony, Alex Bregman, Pete Alonso, Trevor Story, and Wilyer Abreu would not be lethal? Come on, that would be crazy. The American League is stacked. The Yankees are the Yankees. The Orioles are loaded with young talent and hopefully rebound after a horrible year in 2025. The Blue Jays just went to the World Series, but the Red Sox are building something special here. This isn't a team that's 3 years away. This is a team that could actually compete for a World Series in 2026. And that's why they're going all in right now. Boston Red Sox are not messing around anymore. Trading for Sonny Gray was just the first move. Whether they land JT Realmuto or not, you can bet the Red Sox aren't done. Maybe they'll re-sign Bregman and sign Pete Alonso. Maybe they'll shock us all and go get Kyle Tucker. One thing is for certain, they're going to be active this winter. They're going to look for ways to upgrade the roster because they know what everyone else is starting to realize, and that is that the window is open. Roman Anthony is ready. Garrett Crochet is in his prime. The young core has arrived ahead of schedule. The Boston Red Sox are going all in, and the American League better be ready because this team is about to be a problem for the next decade. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What piece do the Red Sox need to add to this team to make them championship contenders? And that's all for today, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.